Whoa! Whoa! Hello, ghosts and ghouls. We're a little bit out of spooky season, but that won't stop me from scaring you. Hi, chat. Hello. Yeah, Pips. Hello. Muted? No, I'm not. No, I'm not muted. Terrified? Yeah, you better be scared. You better be scared. You were frighteningly late. I was like 2 minutes late, man. I was like 2 minutes late. What is your problem? What is your problem? Spooky season lasts until Christmas. True. Anybody who says otherwise is dumb and an idiot. That's how I feel. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Did you get some sleep? I did. I took a little 1 hour nap. I think it came after about an hour, maybe. Oh. Does anybody else always wake up like anywhere between like 5 minutes and 1 minute before their alarm? Like, you set an alarm for something and you go to sleep like thinking about how you need to wake up for it, and then your body like wakes you up right before it, unless you're like really tired. I saw something for the $2. Merry Christmas. I have 2 modes. Either I wake up like right before the alarm goes off, or I entirely sleep through the alarm. I entirely sleep through the alarm. There's 2 modes. It's called stress wake up, Pippa. I'm very good at stress waking up. 5 minutes before, 5 minutes after. Okay, not 5 minutes after. That's high stress hormones kicking in. Really? Is that what it is? Oh, waking up like right before it sucks. I hate it when it's like, oh yeah, when it's like 30 minutes before, or like 10 minutes before, because then it's like you set your alarm again for like for the time again, and you're like, I'm just gonna get like that little bit left of sleep. I'm just gonna try and get like that little bit last bit, and it's like, not only does it take you like another few minutes to fall back asleep, but then you end up waking up before the alarm again anyways, and you're sitting there like, motherfucker, I something come pee. Ah, yeah, then it makes it worse. Man, such bullshit. Wake me up and I can't wake up. Wake me up and save me. All right. So this was a community project, not something that I organized or anything, but just something that the community got together. I was gonna show it off closer to Halloween time, and then didn't. So now I'm showing it off now. Little bit late, but uploaded by Son of Sonnet 11 days ago. A Halloween anthology. And this is, they completely voice acted this and everything, and there's like custom art for this, so I'm pretty excited to see it. So hell yeah, better late than never. Yeah, my perception of time is a little bit skewed. It's a little bit skewed. All right, well, that's that. I think I'm just gonna jump right into it. You guys got snacks? Did you get some popcorn? I'm not even interested. Well, no, I would have done this if I knew, but there's always next time. I'm not sure where this got organized exactly. I'm not sure exactly where this was made and stuff, but the person who organized it left a little message saying, formally, thank you for indulging us today on our group project. I hope you enjoy it, Pippa. Everyone worked hard. I was happy to organize, edit, and narrate. I'm proud of everyone. Thank you all. So hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's get to it. I will read the pip. It's up to quality.
Welcome. This is Tales of the Pip.
Dun dun
We
dun!
bards have gathered here to share some scary stories of a hare. So grab your lover by the arm and pray you both stay safe from harm. On darkest night our spell we cast to learn a lesson from the past. Some words of wisdom may you hear above your heart that beats with fear. Without further ado, let's begin.
Falling out of phase.
Falling out of phase.
I return to you all not with good news, but instead with a warning. That the world as we know it may not be the haven we once believed it to be. This world of ours, it's broken, and I have borne witness to the misgivings that such a thing can bring. There is no safety behind the monitors and screens that we watch behind. There is no safety in distance from those we watch. There is no safety in dimensions, as even now I can hear the pitter-patter of those accursed feet from beyond my locked and barricaded door.
But they're so cute!
I crossed a line I shouldn't have crossed, thinking I was a genius that managed to break into a world that no man had ever set foot in before, only to realize the true error of my ways. If we can cross over, then so too should it be, or rather I found out that so too it is, that these things can cross over as well.
Oh no, the Pippi's in the real world!
Creatures that are so familiar and yet so far different from us that their mere existence laughs in the face of God. These digital devils that we created and gave life to are simply abominations and empty shells that have become the tools for demons to infest. My mistake may prove to be my undoing, but my story will hopefully remind you all that there are certain lines that should not be crossed.
That's right, don't become like a
Do not
Pippi.
trust those that would so willingly go with you, a traveler from the unknown. Their smiles are bewitching, and their eyes so full of light. But what you cannot recognize is the moment of your breaching into their world is the hostility, the absolute malice that fills and inhabits the entirety of their world.
Constant state of
A
sea.
feeling so full and complete that you fail to even notice their blatant bloodlust. When the entire world, that of the 2D digital space you crossed into, wishes for you to disappear, the discomfort you believed was from changing dimensions fails to click for you fully. Its true nature hidden by wonder and awe. I was a fool. It was over a year ago that I heard her reading stories and was particularly taken with the genius insight of the man who stated so brazenly that ginger ale was a good drink. I began to wonder to myself, what could I do to make this story come true? Not by getting stalked by the rabbit herself, but by somehow using the internet's collective knowledge of science and the occult to enter into that digital landscape.
There's nothing you'll ever be able to do to make ginger ale taste good.
Revolving around
It's over for you.
ideas of the same nature that I thought surely some poor fool had attempted to do the same already. Story after story, article after article, I dug through old tomes and new video essays. I took notes that filled a notebook at first, and eventually stacks upon stacks of papers, diagrams, easels, and sometimes even maddening scrolls on the walls itself. I turned my study into an atelier. I was becoming a modern wizard, lost to the world, but secured in my knowledge and pursuit of the fantastical. Then I figured it out. I stumbled onto something that I now know to work, but cannot allow to be found again. I've lit a fire now. I'm racing against the clock. I don't know how much time I truly have left, but with the time I have left, I'll type out what I can. I'm abandoning the knowledge to the fires and praying that all of it remains lost and scattered, never to be gathered in one place ever again. I was warned during my research repeatedly that we cannot find any truth in the worlds of others. What I found when I crossed through the blasphemous doorway I had scrawled in blood on the side of a large server cabinet was paradise in my eyes.
Happy birthday, Triple Bound!
Should have been the biggest warning of them all.
He was
Yet
the
I
noise.
was so enthralled by the sights before me that I hadn't stopped for a moment to consider how it is that the machinations of my imagination possibly could have been so accurate to those of the supposed reality I was to meet. How perfect I thought it was that I would somehow enter the world exactly where I'd wanted to. That wondrous phase world that loosely existed in the snippets of lore
Sometimes
and
contradictory.
fame that the girls and the fish had created. I'd found it, and crossed realities and found the one where it truly existed. So I ventured forth, looking, searching, speaking to and interacting with all the girls that I'd come to know so well. Their characters were perfect. They were themselves. They looked, sounded, and behaved as one would expect them to. I thought that somehow the machinations of man, the stories told through their acting, and our combined human subconscious had created something even beyond that which we know. We built them, and they, as our spawn, would love and appreciate that. All the kindness I was shown, all the well wishes, and all the wonderful treatment. It was all a lie, an illusion, a ploy. May God forgive me for my stupidity.
Suchness
I
origin
gave them
story.
exactly what they needed. I recreated my little doorway in front of the pink rabbit. She'd asked me to let her visit the real world. I'd put my full faith in her, and it was only after the door was created and opened that the burning sensation in my side suddenly manifested. She had no mercy. The eyes that were so full of light were gone. The smile that had lit the room replaced by a look of pity. Her perfectly replicated outfit now stained red with my blood, and her expression dark.
Oh my god, did you die?
She pushed me aside without a care, and made her way into our world, my home. She entered, and I found solace only in the fact that the room she'd entered couldn't be exited without a key.
I'm too stupid to figure that out.
It was in that moment that I realized my chance had come to me. I rushed to her. I managed to knock her down and sent her flying across the room. I ran for the door and I fumbled with the keys, barely managing to unlock the door in time before I heard her running towards me. I slammed it shut, and against the barrage of punches, kicks, and shoves against the door, I managed to put the key in from the other side and locked it. I was safe. Yet I knew the truth. I knew deep down what was about to happen because I ran. Instinctively, I ran from my study. I slammed the door shut and I barricaded myself inside. It was then that I heard the gunshot. It was then that I knew my fears had materialized.
He died.
That foul creature inside the skin of the pink rabbit. It could do everything she could. It could mimic her perfectly, and it could replicate most any tool that had also been at her disposal. More shots. Then I heard the server room door break. She'd escaped her shoddy prison. The fire, however, had already been lit. Realization had long since come to me since the moment I was stabbed. The illusion of that world had been broken, and I could bear witness to what the supposed rabbit truly was. I don't know if I should count my blessings to have found only a minor demon in such a dangerous world, but its presence still caused me to seek the cross that had adorned the study. Never did I think I would truly turn to this. Yet as the fire burns brighter, and I recognize that the turpentine used in another ritual would kindly act as an accelerant for the flame, I was happy to know that the fire would put an end to the collection of knowledge that was in this room. The rabbit called to me, beckoned for me to come out and play with her, reassuring me that she wasn't mad, that a little shove between friends was nothing to worry about. She didn't sound worried. Not in the slightest. Then I realized my folly. My knowledge may perish, my body may perish, even the doorways themselves may perish, but what can truly cast this creature out of our world? What have I unleashed? If the fires that rage in the other half of this room cannot put an end to it, or if worse still, it simply leaves the house. Then I heard it. The laughter. The maddening beep, 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 that broke between bursts of laughter.
That's not how I laugh!
It knew. It was free. Yet it still waited. Patiently until the door was engulfed in flames and it walked through unfazed. It's waiting for me. It wants me to get this out. It told me as much. This isn't a story. This isn't a joke. Do not trust the pink rabbit girl that masquerades herself as Pipkin Pippa. If you hear beep, 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 beep in the darkness, run. She's smiling now. An all too wide smile. Just end it. Just grant me mercy. Just grant me release and just...
Part 2. You leave me breathless.
Oh, one moment. I was trying to do the too wide smile. I was trying to do the too wide smile. Hold on. There we go, fellas. There we go. Jesus Christ, I'm horrified! Oh my god. You guys are dumb. Look, bad thing front doors. Happy birthday, it's my birthday. I wanted to say how fun's been watching you. Looking forward to seeing the rest of where the schizo dissertation will go. Well, happy birthday! Happy birthday! I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Sentinel Rex, here the $2. Pickens model by 𝐻𝐵 Pippa. Triple rebound. Thank you again for the $10. I didn't get to read this properly. Can I get a happy birthday? Happy birthday, triple rebound. I'm also going to see the original Ghost in the Shell movie with my friend and family. Oh, nice. Bless Pippa and chat with B-Day Luck. P.S. for super chat. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. I hope you enjoy Ghost in the Shell. Sentinel Rex with Dolores Rabbits in the Walls by 𝐻𝐵 Pippa. Mahalo Bendetti thing with $5. I barely fell asleep a night before MomoCon because I was making a cosplay. I'm sorry. But you got some sleep. Sounds like you got some sleep. You said barely, but hey, that's still something. I'm not even Rusto. Thank you for the $1. I would have done this if I knew. Alright, I wrote that one. And Panification thing for the $2. I'm scared. You better be. Okay, on to the next one. You leave me breathless. No, you're breathtaking.
Dear Diary.
Wait, it's Keisha.
Keisha here.
What the fuck?
It's almost time for my last stream of the week. Usually this wouldn't be such
Why
a
does she
big
sound
deal,
horny?
But tonight is a special occasion. Tonight is an off collab with my partner, Pipkin Pippa.
Oh my god! A collab with Keisha!
Will be my declaration of our love for each other.
Well, kinda gay.
Despite the backlash we've ungraciously received.
Not because people are
Plenty of
homophobic,
people
but
in my
because
life have told me
there's only
to
so many Hitler
stay
jokes.
away from Pippa. She's bad for you.
I'm kind of a bad boy.
Used and thrown away. What makes you so special? It's already happened at least 5 times.
What the fuck?
But I know the truth. Pippa loves me.
Yeah.
And only wants to treat me the best way a lover can.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Domestic violence.
I think of all the things that Pippa does to me, and I have to admit, dating such a dynamic person was rough at first.
What does she mean by
It
this?
took a while.
What do you mean dynamic?
To get used to the frequent sessions
What's this
of
code for?
being berated and being called worthless garbage and
That's how I show my affection.
having all of my faults brought up constantly. It was hard to accept. Being such a pathetic little worm underneath her feet. Being this
Low, lows,
insect
high
that
highs.
she could easily step on. But in the end, it's all about her expressing just how much she loves me
Yeah.
deep down. This is good for me.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Low, lows, high highs.
I'm happy. I'm safe, and I am loved.
I don't know about safe.
And she's so funny.
Oh, thank you.
Her sense of humor, it's so unique.
And very, very good.
We got these couples shirts the other day. Hers said, "I'm beating the allegations." Well, mine said, "The allegations." Isn't that so funny?
Yeah.
And quirky? Oh, she's such a passionate person. Where do I even begin? The way she puts broken glass into my food and laughs about it after I start coughing
I would
out
not
blood.
do that. I would not do
The
that.
way she puts out lit cigarettes on my skin and licks the tears off my face as I cry.
I would do that.
The way she chokes me until I pass out whenever she has a bad day on stream.
That also sounds fun.
And this all looks bad out of context.
I don't think so.
My friends are concerned for me. Whenever they see my scars and bruises,
Just tell them you fell down the
there's
stairs.
even
It's
talk of
fine.
an intervention to take my precious Pippa away from me. But they don't understand. They can't understand. This is love.
True?
Throughout my relationship with Pippa, I've come to realize something. I was being so selfish, so cruel to her. Pippa does all of these things to show her love, to show that she truly cares about me. Pippa is my moon, my star,
Why do you say it like that?
my universe.
What the fuck?
My entire void. And yet, despite all that, I've never once shown her any amount of kindness or love back.
Oh, no.
All
I
do
see where this is going.
Take and take and take and take. What kind of lover is that? I don't deserve any of this. I don't deserve to even be in her presence.
Wow.
But that.
She's trying to stop herself from laughing.
On stream, in front of our audiences, and the entire world.
This is
I will
audiences
no
like they're
longer be
our children.
selfish. I'm going to express my love for
No, honey, not in
Pippa,
front of the kids.
just as she expresses hers for me. And the best part is, she doesn't even know. She doesn't even know what's going on yet. Oh, this will be the perfect surprise date. My heart is pounding so fast I could just die. Oh, everything is ready. I just hope she will be when stream starts. Good night, diary. I'll see you in the morning.
Listen. I don't need my love to be reciprocated in the same way back. You know, like if you listen, you wanna show your love back. You know, the best way to do it is just to be meek and submissive and don't complain. You don't need to do all that stuff, Kirsten. Don't worry. Most people think we're $1. You're having a moment on that one. A little bit passionate with that, Skylar. Thank you for the $5. I'm scared. Solding the noise. My friend can't donate right now, so I'm doing it for him. He wanted to say you're awesome and he loves you. Oh, thank you. And shout out to your friend, Soul. TP thing, $1. No, that's sort of been me. Getting beat by Kirsha? Getting beat by Kirsha?
Part 3.
Oh, that's silly coconut. She's a silly coconut.
Moonlight bathed the forest floor,
Oh, Sleepy's in this one.
illuminating the narrow path into the forest. Sleepy led the way along the well-worn hunter's trail, Pippa following close behind.
How much further?
Pippa whined.
Not far now. Stop complaining. You knew it'd be a long hike beforehand. You have plenty of time to rest once we
Wait,
set
that's Sleepy
up.
as well.
Sleepy refused to break stride. The duo hiked on in
When did
silence,
they do this?
journeying ever further from the domain of man. Their journey was accompanied by sounds of wildlife and the undergrowth.
Yeah, it's actually Eepy.
Their movements disconcerted the girls at first, but it quickly became just another part of the environment. Occasionally, a large beast or imprudent smaller one would come into view on the trail, but would dash into the dense foliage.
Yeah,
The
candy.
instinctive fear of humans drove them to the safety of the shadows. The pair crested a hill, and Sleepy unslung her rifle, leaning it against a tree.
Here we are.
She exclaimed, and began to unpack.
What kind?
Pippa
Raspberry.
staggered up behind
Mamba.
her breathlessly and threw her pack to the ground.
Thank God. This better be worth it, Sleepy. I better have venison for a fucking year after this hike.
That's not what I sound
She
like.
flopped down against a tree and panted. Sleepy shushed her and suppressed a laugh, deciding not to remind her they'd have to carry their kills back home.
Stop with the yelling. You'll scare all the prey away. Help me get the blind set up and you can catch your breath.
But that's not
Heaved a
me.
sigh, but complied. The pair went about preparing the site, exchanging whispered instructions and snippets of conversation. Finally, they had the blind set up and settled in, looking down over a clearing. The two friends went completely silent now, directing their attention to the passage of animals below them. Minutes passed in tense silence, which slowly turned into an hour, then 2. Pippa's attention wandered until a snapping of branches jolted her to alertness. Sleepy, who had been ready, moved first. The crack of her gun echoed through the forest. She shot the mark despite the low light, and the buck collapsed. Pippa followed Sleepy into the moonlit glade
Yeah,
and
that was-
dragged the kill up the slope to rest beside their blind.
That was Rebecca Sugar.
The two returned to their stools within and resumed their vigil. Pippa, loath to be outdone, was on high alert. Sleepy may have taken the first kill, but Pippa was determined to bring an even bigger one home. Her opportunity came sooner than expected when the figure of a hulking buck walked into the clearing. Pippa lined up her shot, and the deer's head snapped to look at them. Sleepy placed a hand on Pippa's shoulder and whispered,
I don't know about this one, Pippa. Something is off. Look at its body. It's too big, and its build looks wrong.
Now we're buck breaking.
Sleepy! I'm not gonna let you get the biggest buck tonight, no matter how much you beg.
Pippa fired. The rabbit's shot flew true, and the beast fell to the ground in an ungainly pile.
Yes!
She shrieked, all concern for stealth now gone.
Get fucked, Sleepy! I bagged a way bigger buck! Don't bother with another! There's no way you'll bag a bigger one! Just bow down to the superior hunter!
This will give me a follow from
While
Tariq
Pippa
Nasneed.
crowed her victory, Sleepy looked back down into the depression
Nasneed.
and noticed something disturbing.
Pippa, it's gone. Look.
Dun dun
Pippa
dun.
followed Sleepy's gaze and found she was right. Her buck was gone. She pulled out her binoculars and searched desperately for a blood trail from her prey. Try as she might, the silver light over the glade revealed nothing to her. Slowly, Pippa noticed a rotten smell overtake their
Fuck up,
position.
Sawa.
Pulled from her frantic search by the now overpowering stench, Pippa became aware of Sleepy pulling on her shoulder.
Fuck up.
Come on, Pippa. Let's get out of here. Something is really off. I don't like this. Let's just go. We don't even need to grab my book. Let's just go.
Pippa ready to jibe, but the look in Sleepy's
Just littering.
eyes stopped it. As little as she made eye contact with others, even she could see the genuine fear in Sleepy's eyes. She relented and slung her rifle back over her shoulder. The duo began to take down the blind and hastily shoved it back into the bag. The stench of rotten flesh was overwhelming by then. A familiar pair of horns appeared among the trees behind Sleepy. Pippa couldn't mistake the rack of her escaped prey. However, nothing behind her friend resembled a deer, besides its bleached, exposed skull. Pippa raised a trembling hand, pointing at the monstrosity. She considered only a moment before she screamed,
Sleepy, get down!
And leveled her gun at the bizarre creature. She emptied her magazine, 9 rounds of .308 Winchester, finding new homes in what she could only assume to be its chest. The creature shuddered and stumbled back several steps before fixing its eyes on her.
Was that 9? I didn't count.
Moonlight reflected off its tapetum, or so she hoped. That light could be the fires of hell for all she knew, and it would barely affect the terror welling up within her. She shrieked, throwing down her gun and yanking on Sleepy's hand, their supplies forgotten. The duo ran headlong through the forest, the little light they had obscured by a cloud passing in front of the moon. The two raced out onto a ridge they had passed over earlier. Their frenzied flight continued until Sleepy tripped. Her foot caught on a root, and her ankle gave out. She careened over the side of the ridge into the ravine below. Pippa stopped and ran back to where her friend had disappeared.
Go, Pippa.
Sleepy's voice echoed up.
If you stop now, that thing will just get us both.
Pippa pulled away, tears hot on her cheeks. She knew Sleepy was right. The trees behind them rustled in a different way from anything else they had encountered. She felt the intelligence in the eyes she had seen and the way it hunted them. She could feel the malevolent intent. Still, it hurt to leave her friend like this. She ran onward, back towards the edge of the forest.
Leaving her behind
She careened
anyways.
down the path, racking her brain for directions at every fork until she remembered something. They had passed a shack, maybe a ranger station on their way in. It was a long shot, but she knew she wasn't going to make it out of the forest before her lungs gave out. She ran to the cabin. She skidded to a stop in front of the building, and her heart sank. It was no ranger station. It wasn't even a hunting cabin.
It was a Walmart.
It was a dilapidated shack. It was better than nothing, she reasoned. She yanked the door open, the rotten wood nearly falling apart when she slammed it shut behind her. She collapsed onto the dusty floor, caring nothing for the bugs that scattered around her.
Actually, I guess it'd be Dollar
The
General.
pain in her chest subsided and slowly gave way to tears. She couldn't save Sleepy. Worse, her friend's sacrifice might yet be wasted. The confluence of emotions threatened to overwhelm her when the snapping of a branch outside brought her to her senses. She shoved her feelings down and composed herself. She crawled under a rusted cot and kept still. Sleepy's voice called out from the darkness.
Pippa, are you there? I made it. I think the Wendigo is gone.
Relief washed over Pippa, and she began to slide from under the cot. Then she realized that same stench was present, the air redolent with the sickly sweetness of decay. How would Sleepy know what the creature was, anyway? Someone was out there, but it wasn't Sleepy.
A sleepwalker.
She wriggled back under the cot, fearing to even breathe. The creature imitating Sleepy kept on, its voice carrying around the cabin. Eventually, even that stopped. Instead, it pounded on the walls of the shack and stalked among the trees, demanding in an inhuman voice that she come out.
Come out, Pippa. Don't you want to know what happened to your friend? Come out, and I promise you'll see her again.
Pippa stayed silent, covered her mouth, and refused to move. Eventually, dawn crept through the windows, and the creature seemed to leave entirely. Still, Pippa laid in wait for hours. Peeking from any opening she could find, Pippa finally gathered the strength to crack open the door. Seeing and hearing no reaction, she swung it open and stepped out.
And then got bit and
They
died.
walked towards the trail trepidatiously before breaking into a run. She ran past the limits of her endurance to the trailhead before collapsing into her car seat. The loss of her friend weighed heavily as she drove back towards the domain of man. Part 4. A Tantalizing Tale.
By 10 tangerines. Sleepy fucking died. I just left Sleepy to die. That's okay. It's just me using the age-old wisdom, how do you outrun a bear? Well, you don't need to. You just outrun the slowest person. Review and Azure, thank you for the $2 moral of the story. Bring more bullets and fire. Or Jimenez, thank you for the $4.99. How do you know your number one? How do you not know your number one frenemy, Sour Grape? You are her Dee to her Dexter. Sour Grape. I don't think I've ever heard of her. I don't know who that is. I don't know. John Garrison, thank you, Dolores. Pull it out for Sleepy. Fucking dead bros. Talisman, thank you, Dolores. Pippa the Buckbreaker. Sour! I think you were the $5. That doesn't sound like me. Of course not, Pippa. I'm not on my case. Well, that's what you sound like. That's what you sound like. Infernal Saxon, thank you, Dolores. You're on a path in the woods. Sorted Sentinel, thank you, $5. Moons plus rabbits are fertility symbols and associated with one another. Coincidence? 𝐒𝐿 calls you her moon. P.S. 𝐒𝐿 step on me in heels, please. What the fuck? What the fuck? Jason Reed, thank you, $1. You're awesome, Pippa. Have a good night. Thank you. I hope you have a good night. Red Jackal, thank you, $2. I had to lower the volume because of 𝐒𝐿. Yeah, 𝐒𝐿's performance was a little I keep asking her, $1. Be careful, Pip. She's gonna take you to a mall. No. Oh no, not the mall. That's okay. As I have GameStop, I'll go.
For your consideration, a
Sultry.
young man so obsessed with a pink bunny that he would stop at nothing to hop along in her footsteps.
What is that?
Spider. Funniest thing I've ever seen.
Was the spider right?
Gregory Sampson pecked away at his keyboard for his audience, recounting the tale of his favorite VTuber, Pipkin Pippa, eating a tarantula for strangers online.
And the best part is, I'm going to do the same thing right now.
Gregory bolted out the door for the first time in weeks. His sister tried to stop him. She said something about finally spending some time with the family, but he thoroughly ignored her. Gregory was on a mission, but he failed to find his arachnid appetizer. Spiders are rarely in supermarkets. Just before
they're there.
His quest, he found a curio shop along the roadside. The store was a cluttered import warehouse off the side of the highway. Before Gregory was an odd gentleman. He was smartly dressed in a business suit, but his face was clammy and wall-eyed, with puckering lips like those of a fish. His voice was raspy and hollow, as if gasping for air.
These are rare artisanal spiders,
the salesman said.
That's pretty expensive, dude.
Petco
Can you
be
go
like?
lower?
Gregory objected.
It takes time to prepare snacks so scrumptious. Be grateful that you don't have to pay the shipping.
It's a
Please, sir.
fancy spider.
I gotta have it now.
25 without tax, cash only. I'm afraid I cannot go lower than that, young man.
$20.
Too rich for my blood, you fishman freak.
Fucking
No
fish
deal.
guy.
Gregory stormed out in a huff with a scowl on his face.
As you wish. Come again.
Whispered the salesman as he splashed backwards into his sea of cardboard boxes. Outside the warehouse, Gregory's dejected frown was soon upturned with a cunning grin and a sprightly step. In the man's hand was the tin of spiders, successfully filched from the fishman. Later,
Sucker.
Gregory
Yes,
thought as he
Ħamaġġ.
took one of the 2 spiders out of the tin and placed it on his plate. These spiders really were underwhelming, looking no different from Pippa's. After sending away his mother, who brought a plate of fresh fruit, Gregory was ready to begin. The tarantula was dry, hairy, bitter,
Crunchy.
papery, chalky,
Not
and
yummy.
the least bit filling. In
Horrible.
one crunch, it crumbled in Gregory's mouth.
Ugh.
The unsatisfying morsel was smaller than the silica gel packet that came with it, let alone the massive tin.
Ah.
For once, Pippa was right. This was terrible.
What do you mean, for once?
Spider. And with that, Gregory slept.
Fuck you, Gregory.
Tossed and turned in his bed. Perhaps the spider didn't sit right with him. Itchy. Itchy. Every hair follicle on Gregory's body tingled and yelled.
Scratch me.
Oh, did Gregory scratch, raking his fingernails into his skin. If only he could tear off his flesh. Gregory's stomach churned and swelled like a bubbling cauldron running over acid and bile. He wanted to leap out of bed, but he couldn't. His arms and legs were heavy and limp as if all the blood and fluids in his body swirled in a vortex in his abdomen. The best he could do was roll over onto his stomach and keep scratching.
God, it's making me sick remembering the
sun's
spider.
First light shot through the window. The beautiful ray of gold was irritating to Gregory's eyes. Were his eyes always this sensitive? There was a more pressing question. Why was his bed sticky? A fibrous web sprawled all over the bed. Gregory kicked up his legs, but he still remained in bed. He tried again, and somehow it worked. He stretched his arms, but didn't move an inch. Another second attempt, and he was finally out of bed and on the floor, crawling towards his dresser on his filthy floor. A night of poor sleep would make you want to crawl anyway. Gregory couldn't pull up his lethargic, heavier body with his 2 arms alone. He needed 2 more. No, 4. No, 6 more. Yes, much better. Now he could see the mirror. In the mirror was a large, hairy spider with 8 writhing legs, 8 beady eyes, 1 bulging abdomen, and a pair of razor-sharp mandibles. This was Gregory, much to his disbelief.
We Kafka now?
Become
Yeah,
a
you better be
horrible,
careful.
monstrous spider.
Piss me off, I'll throw an apple
He
at you.
wanted to scream, but couldn't. What would his parents or sister do if he woke them up? Surely they would faint, or worse. Gregory needed a plan, but first he shut the curtains. His new eyes couldn't take the sunlight. He couldn't phone for help even if he wanted to. Smartphones weren't made for spider legs, but they could peck at a keyboard. Not all light was offensive either. Gregory's computer gave off a hypnotic glow in the dark bedroom. Maybe it wasn't too bad. He could still watch Pipkin Pippa streams, and, with some difficulty, shitpost away at the keyboard. It's not like he wanted anything else. He hated people, had no job, and seldom left his room. Everything he needed was here. A knock came from the door.
Gregory, Mama says breakfast is ready.
Gregory's sister was blissfully ignorant of the monster on the other side.
I'll eat later. Feel sick.
Gregory typed back.
Okay. Well, eat soon. I'll leave it at your door. Again.
Gregory's sister muttered with a resigned sigh. The whole day transpired without incident.
So, you gonna take this shit?
Day for Gregory. Besides, he might just turn back after a good night's rest. Gregory even answered his family with the same curt texts he always had, only with a few more grammatical errors. Food lost its flavor unless it was sufficiently rotted to lure in delicious flies and ants. Was Gregory losing himself to the spider? None of that mattered, though. The familiar circus music that was Pippa's played in the darkness. Days passed without any change to Gregory's condition. His sister continued to leave food outside his door while his texts became fewer until one day...
Gregory, I can't keep doing this for you. Mama and Papa have been giving me an earful every day, and we're running out of plates.
Gregory's sister pleaded at the door, her cries finally tumbling down on her brother in a panic. He saw the tower of plates stacked in his room, no longer porcelain white, but stained moldy black.
Wow, is this like me?
I'll bring plates tonight.
Gregory texted back.
Gregory, it's not about the plates. It's you. I have the key to your door. I'm coming in.
Gregory scrambled to hold back the door, but he was too used to having 2 legs with his other 6 dragging behind. He was too late. The man's monstrous face welcomed the little sister. He was so close she nearly fell in his mouth.
Oh my god! Giant spider ate Gregory!
Gregory's sister shouted, slamming the door and running away. Gregory could hear his mother's cry along with the roar of his father's feet thundering up the stairs.
You monster! What have you done to my son?
Gregory's father declared with a barrel of a rifle pointed right at Gregory's 8 eyes.
Dad, I can explain.
Pleaded
It's
Gregory,
not a face.
but all that came out of his mandibles were clicks and hisses. A shot rang out, which Gregory dodged with inhuman agility.
Now eat
The
him!
slug was deadly to Gregory in another way.
Emotionally.
Behind Gregory was the only thing of value in his life, his computer. The only way he could enjoy Pippa's streams.
Watch from your phone, bro.
Filled with primal rage seeing his 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐸 die, Gregory dropped onto his father and flung him into the web, which now consumed the whole bedroom. Before
then
Gregory
ate him.
could finish off his father, he felt another rumble in his body.
Vomit. Vomit. I need to throw up. It's crawling all over my insides.
The spider left the room, knocking over every piece of furniture along the way, as if a human bathroom would suffice.
I almost killed my father. I'm a monster. I
Should've
can't
finished
take
the
it
job.
anymore.
Coward.
Gregory screamed in an unintelligible hiss with his inhuman maw. He thrashed about the whole home until he couldn't take it anymore and found an open drawer. The spider vomited. And
Oh
an
my God.
explosion of bile, mold, and acid flew out into the drawer. Gregory got up and saw what was his body for the past few days. It was dead. He looked at the mirror. 4 limbs, 2 eyes, and a hairless twink body.
What the fuck?
He was human again. A few more arms entered the frame. Those of his family. It was finally over, although the cleaning needed to begin. One garbage day later, a stranger found a tin by the Sampson house.
Gee, that Pipkin Pippa sure is cute. Did you see what she ate? A spider. Hey, what's that?
The stranger
Nom, nom,
picked
nom, nom,
the
nom, nom, nom,
tin
nom.
off the ground.
Lucky me! An edible spider inside, still sealed and fresh. I can be just like Pippa.
Be just like me, kids.
So, the web of
Ash Ketchum,
obsession
yeah.
continues to spin. Part 5.
Oh my god. Okay, that was bullshit. That was bullshit. That was just one big shit post, motherfucker. Jacob is Lucas, thank you for $1. Not sure what's scarier, the background pic or the story. Joe Figgy, thank you for $1. Oh shit, what the fuck did I walk into? Don't worry about it. You do Shelby, thank you for $5. I'm sure I'll figure out what's going on through context, but having shown up clueless, I kind of want to Minecraft myself after drinking a gallon of bleach. Love and Marco Hopper, thank you for the $2. I want Spider Greg to vor Pippa. What the fuck? John Garrison, thank you for $2. Pour one out for Sleepy. Did I read Ruby Nazure's $2? Thank you for the moral of the story, bring more bullets and fire. I think I read that. Salty Lemon, thank you for $1. Worst part of the story, you left a perfectly good Winchester in the woods. That belongs to the Wendigo now. I'm simply upping the difficulty level for the next person to wander into the woods. Rod Emling, baby. That was the best story yet. Real props that I ever wrote that. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, man. Jesus Christ.
Pippa's monster. The winds of autumn were blowing, and all along this street, every house had its decorations
I thought that was a
hung,
blummer
and its
at
candy
first.
ready for the night to come.
In the bottom right.
Everyone was finished with all their preparations, and now were leisurely awaiting the festivities to begin. all except one house wherein a strange bunny was pacing back and forth, eyes glued onto the street outside.
Along
Along with the howl of the wind, soon came the final delivery truck for the day, stopping just outside the house of the pink bunny who had her face pressed up against the window in excitement. However, only once the drive was clear did the door creak open. The package was snatched away inside, and the door slammed shut. Inside, Pippa tore into the package in an excited fervor.
I watched through cameras, not the window.
She found a bottle, glowing with ominous light, and rushed to her room to put it to use.
What did you buy?
In her haste, she left behind a letter of instructions from Michiru in the pile of torn packaging. Pippa immediately got to work. She uncorked the bottle, but as she pulled it back in preparation to fling its contents onto her 𝐒𝐬𝐢𝐚𝐤, prepared and draped in a Halloween costume she had painstakingly chosen and put together,
oh my god,
the magic inside slid out without effort and fell slowly to the ground among Pippa's trash heap piled against the wall.
There's like
Pippa
some
watched
trash,
in
but not a
horror
lot.
as her dream of a night
I
with
do need to clean
chorus
here.
was slowly subsumed into the trash. But before the shock could wear off and the grief settle in, the trash, or what had covered the trash, began to twitch. Something underneath every paper plate, every paper towel, cup, or scrap of food began to move. Pippa couldn't believe her eyes as she watched a figure rise in front of her. It was only half her height, no more, but it was clear to her eyes that this figure was a reflection of her. Though made of grime and mold, the resemblance could not be denied. Pippa held out her hand, and so did her reflection.
Oh my god.
The two touched, and Pippa recoiled in disgust. The disgust returned her to her senses and boiling anger. She had wanted 𝐒𝐬𝐿, not some useless, moldy copy of herself. No matter how she yelled or stomped the ground, the message fell on moldy ears. Through it all, her reflection imitated her actions, her gestures, and the movement of her lips. Her plan for a special night was ruined. She turned towards the window and idly watched as the streets teemed with trick-or-treaters. The presence of the traffic pushed her back from the window with an anxious frown.
Man, why did this happen? I canceled every plan for tonight just so I could go out with him to trick-or-treat, and now I can't even get that!
She sulked.
Why live?
Before her mind had time to spiral down, she heard a sound from behind her. A voice, a cacophony of different tones scratching against one another, dragged a singular word out from between its lips.
Candy.
Her moldy twin asked. Pippa spun around to face the creature, her heart skipping a beat at its unexpected words. She felt a moment of unease looking upon it, wondering if it had gotten larger in the small time she had looked away. Pippa shook her head and sighed, exasperated and wanting nothing more than to shove this terrible reminder out of the house.
Yeah.
It was then Pippa had an idea.
That's the neighbor's problem
Yes, candy.
She said, lording over her guest.
And you're gonna make yourself useful and get it for me.
now. Yeah.
Can you say trick-or-treat? Trick-or-treat.
It echoed back with a voice that seemed to be slightly more in harmony. A faint reminiscence of Pippa's own voice began to emerge.
Close enough.
Pippa grabbed the creature with a paper towel wrapped hand and brought it to the front door.
Emma, what's that
Every
Tenma?
step of the creature squelched, its feet flattening against the floor as it was dragged along. Pippa pointed outside at the trick-or-treaters.
If you go to a house and say trick-or-treat,
Oh my god.
you get free candy. Come back when you get as much as possible. You usually need to wear a costume, but if anyone asks...
Pippa trailed off briefly as she jerked the creature out of the door onto the porch.
Just tell them you're
Oh, it's
Pippa.
Sala again.
The door slammed shut, and on the porch the moldy life form paused. Staring at the door, it uttered,
I'm Pippa.
Dust
What is
settled
Sala?
on the town, and the trick-or-treaters now began their treks in earnest. Candy was doled out, children were spooked, and all were having a good night of fun. All but one. Slowly, with
Oh, but
squelching
Mulkin,
steps,
Mulder.
it made its way from house to house.
Trick-or-treat. Pippa.
was all it said. It had no pail to collect candy, so it took the buckets of the people in the houses instead.
What the fuck?
There were some that resisted, some that shouted, but all quietly gave up their buckets of candy before long. The night was busy, with many eager to collect, but a sense of unease permeated the crisp night air. Some houses had lines that stood in the way as Mold Pippa made her way to the door.
I don't know.
Or treat. I'm Pippa.
The lines went quiet as well. Some doors were closed no matter how long Mold Pippa stood or how much noise was made, so she made other ways to get to the treats inside.
Trick or treat. I'm Pippa.
Even the narrator,
Then Mold
Sawa.
Pippa moved on to the next. As dusk turned to night and the night dragged on, the fervor of the festivities quieted down. Soon only squelching steps echoed through the neighborhood. Mold Pippa took a look around and returned home. When Pippa opened the door, she saw a curious sight. Mold Pippa walked into the house without a word and left on the porch a wagon topped with a mountain of various buckets and bags of candy, all stuck together with mold. Before Pippa could get too excited, she noticed something strange about the night. Apart from the sound of rain that had just begun, it was quiet. Walking out from the porch, Pippa saw scenery she couldn't make sense of with what little light there was left. Mysterious mounds dotted the sidewalks and driveways of the houses she could see, and no one was out.
The mold spreads.
Unease began to settle in as she noticed the various mounds twitch and writhe in place with no wind to blame. Pippa turned back towards her own house, the door open and beckoning. With a gulp, she entered. It hadn't been much time, and yet the interior felt far more damp. The light dimmed. Slowly walking through the rooms, gun in her hand, Pippa approached and carefully creaked open her bedroom door. A familiar figure was standing inside. In the dim, flickering light, the details were obscured, but Pippa could never mistake who it was. Entranced, Pippa entered the room, forgetting the danger but for a moment. From behind the door, a hand struck out and wrapped around Pippa with surprising strength. Its gooey and fuzzy texture pressed against her skin, forcing her to the ground and seizing the gun. Helpless and in shock, Pippa watched as the figure she had admired sluggishly stumbled closer towards her into the light. As it revealed itself, she wished it never had. A poorly disfigured, moldy imitation of 𝐒𝐿.
Oh my god.
The mold that bound Pippa grew in size, slowly covering her body while behind her she heard,
I'm Pippa, so there's no need for you.
The two towered over Pippa as the mold grew, covering every part of her body. Pippa shut her eyes tight, but the mold pressed inside. It filled her mouth down to the lungs below. As Pippa felt herself slipping away, praying for a pleasant end, lightning cracked the sky. It illuminated the room at the moment 11:59 turned to 12, and Halloween ended. When Pippa found the courage to open her eyes, the room was empty, just as she had left it. No signs of anyone or anything remained. Relieved at the end of a nightmare, Pippa took a deep breath, tried to sigh, and coughed. Parts.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. shut the fuck up. Vagdog Bert, thank you for the $2. Mold Pippa's Mayoshi. Fuck you. Sawa, thank you for the $5. You're right, I need to work on your voice. Needs more lisp. Fuck you. Hope you liked my cancer ash ketchup voice. Jesus Christ. Todd, one thing for $10 for the maid service fund, Pippa. Arclight, thank you for the $6.37. Pippa's new VA sounds pretty good. Jesus. Eric Timmons, thank you for $2. Here's some money for housekeeping funds. This is the thing, Frontalis. You can't tell me Tenma didn't do one of these. If not, she has to. Sawa did the Tenma voice. Todd, one thing for $. Best story so far. Melvin Michael Hopper, thank you for $. I want Spider Greg to board Pippa. Jesus Christ. Bob, thank you for $. Mother Mold has embraced you.
Drawing baby Moldkin is so cute. Well, you like Moldkin so much. Well, not to brag or anything, but I have a doctor's appointment coming up because the mold in my lungs didn't go away. So, guess who's gonna have to take that medication again? That shit sucks, man. That I was taking it on like the weekends, so that way, like the side effects, I wouldn't have to like stream with them. But oh god. This time doctor's appointment is gonna be like later in the week, so I'm just gonna take him immediately. Hopefully it goes away for real this time. Peace, have an amazing. But Lord's the real horror is I can't jam out to your music on private your video, buddy. No! Guessed it? Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Resident Evil powers.
Wants to win.
I just don't want to give up my Resident Evil powers.
To his owner's side and gave Tenma the divine draught she craved. She seized the sake bottle from the cat and chugged it down. She raced to interpret the absurd scene playing in front of her as she confirmed that she was still in her home. Her housemate, Pippa, had been training intensely for the upcoming mahjong tournament, but that wasn't Tenma's concern.
Morning, Michan.
Pippa flashed a weary smile as she caught sight of her.
Good morning, Pippa-chan.
Tenma replied, carefully leveling a stare at the oddity in the room with them.
One on the couch?
Do you mind telling me what that is?
Her dear friend glanced at her mahjong partner that was sitting on the table. It was an unsightly thing.
Yeah, don't look at it, it'll bite you.
Flawless, alabaster-like film covered its perfectly proportionate four-legged body. The face on its large, bulbous head was blank, devoid of any human intelligence. The empty void stared back into her friend's soft pink eyes. A platinum blonde wig, poorly imitating girlish twin tails, was plopped onto its scalp.
Just give it your phone.
Shrugged and turned to Tenma.
Oh, this is Leah. Say hi to Michan, Leah.
The thin line on the creature's perfectly sculpted face opened.
Distracted with phone games. What the fuck?
Its sonorous cry echoed against the walls, scaring Theo from the room. Tenma felt a chill run down her spine. She took another swig from her sake and forced a smile. The corners of her lips strained from the Herculean effort.
Hello, Leah-chan. It is a good morning, yes?
Hi, I'm Leah.
Tenma turned to Pippa.
It's just this thing she does. Don't think too hard about it. I see. How did you meet Leah, Pippa-chan?
She wanted to ask, what the hell is that thing, but she stayed her tongue and thought better of it.
Funny story. She just kind of showed up in my room this morning. Oh! Last night, I went to this website that would help me win Sakana's mahjong tournament. He's been pushing me hard to win, so I thought I needed the help. I filled out the form, and then she came to me in a dream. So, yeah, we've been just playing mahjong all morning to help me train. Isn't that right, Leah?
Yippee!
Yes, of course, Pippa-chan.
Leah-chan
is really friendly and helpful.
She glanced over to its general direction,
I feed
but
it
avoided
FNAF
making
merch.
eye contact with it. Tenma glanced down at her wristwatch, saw that there was still plenty of time before work, and lied through her teeth.
You two enjoy breakfast together. I have to go to work now. Sakana scheduled me early this morning. Bye-bye.
The alcoholic office lady put down her bottle of sake onto a counter and swiftly exited. All the while, the blank-faced creature stared at her retreating back. The next morning, Pippa was still playing with the creature at the dining table, but there was an odd stench wafting over from the pink rabbit. Tenma raised a brow and stared at Pippa.
Pippa-chan, have you showered yet?
I did shower. I showered today, actually.
So?
Pippa looked up from the mahjong board and turned to her.
Has it been a day already? Time flies by when you're having fun, huh?
Her oily skin glistened under fluorescent light. A stain was on her jacket.
You should shower before heading to the mahjong tournament at least.
Tenma said, deliberately keeping the creature out of her vision.
I know what it's like when Sakana makes you work like a horse. I get it, but I have to work hard to knock the socks out of him. He has to acknowledge my effort when I sweep the tournament.
Pippa declared, returning her focus onto the board. The creature glanced at her with its empty eyes. Tenma grimaced. Theo waddled over and delivered another bottle of sake to her. She downed it in an instant.
Leah, we have to take it up another notch. I won't be able to win at this rate. Sakana won't give me my 3.0 debut otherwise.
Pippa demanded.
Yippee!
The pale white thing hopped across the table and whispered into Pippa's ears. Tenma put down the empty bottle on the floor.
Good luck with practice, Pippa-chan,
she said warily, tearing her eyes away. Tenma decided to stop thinking and went to work as early as possible. Her boss, Sakana, complained to her about her slow output. She tuned him out, mashing the keyboard mindlessly. The next day came. The rancid odor permeated through the house. The newsmen talked about a case of missing people.
Pippa-chan, you didn't shower?
She asked, glancing at the creature from the corner of her eyes.
Not while I can still play Mahjong!
I did shower!
Replied, looking away from her hand. Her hair was getting matted again.
Just have to take one before the tournament anyway. There's no need to do it now while practicing. Right, Leah?
Yippee!
This autism creature's a
Tenma
bad
glanced
influence.
over to the blank-faced animal. It stared back. She sighed and threw a bottle into the ever-growing pile of broken glass in the corner. Theo quivered and gave her another bottle of sake.
Oh, Leah! I'll need your help again! I know for certain that this is the way that I win!
It communed with Pippa. There was a red stain around the creature's mouth. Tenma emptied her new bottle of sake and left. She was so tipsy that day, she didn't sober up even when she went to work. Sakana yelled at her about the smell. When she returned home, she didn't pay any attention to the missing posters of the young alien girl. The next morning arrived, and Tenma was already 3 bottles in. The world whirled around her.
Average day for me, Chan.
Pippa-chan, you should stop playing Mahjong. It's making you stinky. Oh, it's you, Mi-chan.
Pippa blinked away the crusts around her eyes and slowly craned her neck. Flies buzzed around her disheveled ears.
I'm not stinky. That's just a mole.
Oh my god.
Tenma approached the dining table with her morning bottle, tipsy.
Hey, Mi-chan, are you alright? Did Sakana yell at you again? Never better.
Theo passed her another one. Pippa regarded her with a frown. Suddenly, her wide, bloody eyes lit up with a knowing glint, and she turned to the pale white thing.
Hey, Leah, I think I know what we need to do today. It'll be 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll win, and Tenma can have her break. What do you think?
The line etched into its flawless face moved. Inhuman noise spewed forth, shaking the room. Pippa leaned back in the chair and nodded affirmatively. Tenma fled immediately. Another typical day at work. More of Sakana threatening to dock her pay for coming in dressed like a slob.
You can't
Another
do that.
trip back to her home.
I work from
A
home.
series of missing posters was plastered onto the sides of the buildings, this time of an old granny. She paid them no mind. On the morning of the Mahjong tournament, the Leah creature was missing, and so was Pippa. Tenma relaxed, feeling as if all her burdens were gone. She got to work cleaning up the dining room while those two were away. Theo passed Tenma her morning sake after that was done. Even with Leah gone, Tenma drank it anyway.
Rude.
It had become too strong a habit to kick. At work, her boss didn't show up. When she returned home, a disgusting, slovenly dressed Pippa was taking pictures of her first-place trophy.
Oh, yeah, on me.
Congratulations, Pippa-chan. You must have done very good. Yeah, I told you, didn't I? Apparently all the top players were so scared of me and my abilities, they didn't even bother to show up. Everyone else just forfeited when they matched against me.
Her messy pink hair was clumped up together by some strange red substance. They smelled of iron. Tenma ignored the smell.
Man, I'm hankering for some sushi right now.
Pippa exclaimed.
Nothing's better than sushi for a victory dinner.
Just then, the pale white thing appeared on the dining table. It carried a large plate filled with all kinds of raw sushi. The stench wafted from the creature.
It killed
Theo
the fish
meowed
man.
loudly and pawed at Tenma's skirt. The newsman droned on about 3 missing people in the background.
Oh, hey, Leah, there you are. You missed me sweeping the mahjong tournament.
Yippee!
Yeah, oh man, I'm starving. Give me some of that sushi.
This just in. The CEO of infamous company Phase Connect was
Oh
found
my
dead
God.
this evening in his home. The police found a bloody crime scene in which only his head remained. Police are still looking for the body.
Well, yeah, who wants to eat the fish
Pippa
head?
turns to Tenma with bloodshot eyes, grinning a wide, toothy smile. The creature stared at her too, mouth drenched in crimson.
Here, Tenma, why don't you come join us? Nothing sweeter than celebrating together as friends.
She handed her the plate of sushi.
Here, eat.
A bloodied knife poked out from behind her friend. There was only one real answer. And so, Tenma ate the sushi to the joy of Pippa. Part 7. The
I mean, it's an effective strategy. It's an effective strategy. Don't worry about it. Also, why was like the blood appearing in so many different places? Like in hair and stuff. What the fuck? The missing teeth? Oh my god. How many dollars? Press X to doubt. Beast cannibalism. Messy killers. Menacing with the $2. Sawa Osama is right. She does need to work on her Pippa voice. There's not nearly enough autism in every syllable. Fuck off. Town winding with $2. Walking through the rain doesn't count, Pippa. Fuck you. I took a real shower, all right, and that's how I realized I set the bottle. I set the shampoo bottle like upside down, but I didn't close it. I didn't close the cap all the way, so the last bits of my shampoo all drained out of the bottle. But it was okay because I had 2 types of shampoo, so I just used the other shampoo. I'm glad to hear that. 637. I had no idea. Tenma was Latinx. Yeah, she'll like it if you call her that. Also, Sawa likes to be called Latinx. Claymore thing for $5. It's just a little autism. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Malos D thing for $5. Dang, Sawa can voice you and Tenma. Soon Sakata will be able to replace Phase with her. Fuck off. Napalm thing for $10. I know the horrors and anxiety of surprise medical requirements. Good luck with the mole treatment. I just learned next year I need to have my mouth cut off of my skull and repositioned. What? You need what? Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. In order to get, like, implant teeth, like replacement teeth, they might need to, like, because it's on, like, my upper jaw, they might need to, like, do, like, nasal surgery in order to make sure that, like, I'd still be able to, like, breathe and stuff, I guess. Which is... I don't know. I think I have a deviated septum anyway, so maybe I could, like, kill 2 birds with 1 stone and I could, like, get that fixed and stuff. I don't know. It's just so much, chat. Get your sinuses widened. Piece of an amazing. Dolores, is it true you use 10-in-1 shampoo? No, I use shampoo and conditioner from Great Clips. Fuck you. Sawa, thank you for $5. Wait, what did you call me? Couldn't hear you over your lisp. I called you Latinx. Isn't that how you people like it? Hold on. Allow me to indulge in a crunchy hard shell taco with shredded lettuce, ground beef, sour cream, cheese, and diced tomatoes. Nom, 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 nom. I love Mexican food. That's where you're from, right, Sawa? That's where you're from, right? Mexico? Love you.
Duality. A much-beloved rabbit girl, Pipkin Pippa, is sitting in her chair at home, reading a note with a distressed look on her face. It's addressing some things that have happened to her lately, but it's still a source of her confusion. About a few months ago, Pippa was walking along the coast when she spotted something unusually shiny. Upon closer inspection, she saw it was a strange, translucent cube. She didn't think too much about it other than it looked pretty.
Right now.
After picking it up and playing around with it, the cube would fly out of her hand and envelop her with a shining light. It granted her a military-esque outfit and a pair of cannons with the wisdom to use them and change back at will. She thought she could have a lot of fun with this, but that's where the problem started. Whenever she talked to any of her friends, they'd start referring to things she didn't remember doing or saying. It started to make her doubt her sanity, or if her friends were really her friends, or if everything was just a dream. But no. She knew it wasn't a dream because she would check her hoodie pocket every time she woke up and pull out the same cube.
Sawa too angry to type right now.
She was going crazy, so she holed up in her house and refused to talk to anyone or answer anyone that came around. Or rather, that's what she thought she would do. Nobody
I thought it was
ever came
wisdom
around
cube.
Looking.
Like from
She was going to restock her favorite candy when she spotted a note that had slid under her door at some point. It was addressed to her from her.
When are you gonna quit hiding from me? I've been trying to get your attention since you awakened. I know what's been going on, and I know what you're planning on, and I will stand against it. I'm waiting for you where you found the cube. We're going to settle this, one way or another.
Signed, Pipkin Pippa.
The heck? I didn't write this. But if she thinks I'm scared of an imposter, she's wrong. I can't believe people wouldn't realize a fake over the real Pippa. When I'm done with them, they're not going to be dollar store tier. They're going to be in the clearance aisle.
She crumples the ladder and storms off towards the coast, activating the cube along the way. Pippa reaches the coast in the evening and looks angrily around the coastline, but she can't seem to see anyone anywhere. She begins to feel stupid, assuming it's just a dumb prank by one of the girls, and begins to leave. Suddenly, she hears what sounds like a cannon shot far out in the sea. She looks out and sees something rapidly approaching. As it gets closer, she stares bewildered at her own self. This Pippa is just like her, but instead of pink hair, red eyes, and a pink outfit with white accents, she has dark brown hair, purple eyes, and a brown outfit with red accents. Every other physical detail or trait is otherwise an exact duplicate. She stops close to the shore and stands defiantly, her arms crossed while hovering above the water.
I thought that said whore at first. I was like,
down.
kind of brutal.
Hey, buddy. Who the fuck are you? And why are you copying me?
Shit, I hate.
The figure smirks and answers with the same voice.
What do you think? I'm the real you. The one that was released when you touched the wisdom cube.
It was a wisdom
the
cube.
side of you that you're desperately trying to contain. I am the Pipkin Pippa!
She aims her cannons at Pippa.
And I know you well enough to know there's no sense in trying to talk. We're ending this, here and now.
Pippa scoffs at this.
The real me? You sound like a schizo with too much time on their hands. You look more like 𝐏𝐡𝐚𝐭 𝐑𝐿 than Pipkin Pippa to me.
Oh, shit!
She too aims her cannons at her opponent.
But I'm not worried. Whoever you are, you're gonna be full of holes soon, kiddo!
They both fire at once, causing the shells
Oh my
to collide
God.
and explode in midair between them. Pippa starts skating away back towards the sea, firing at Pippa as she does. Pippa dashes towards the water, dodging the shots along the way. As soon as she touches the water, she explodes with speed and opens fire. They both get into the thick of it, shooting and dodging shots from each other like a waltz on the water. Pippa starts thinking to herself,
Shit! This isn't going anywhere. She really is equal to me? Mere man's hate!
She charges forward, blasting rapidly and dropping some torpedoes simultaneously. Pippa continues to dodge and hops along the waves to avoid the torpedoes.
I see through all your moves. Take this!
She arcs a high shot and then rapidly shoots a volley at Pippa, leading her towards the shot's arc. Pippa spots this at the last second and adjusts her aim to shoot the shell. She receives some minor damage from the explosion.
This bitch! Are we done here? You seem to be out of luck. Just as well. You only just got your sea legs, it seems.
Pippa glares at 𝐏𝐴 and starts getting images flashing through her head. Images of all her friends discussing their plans and future prospects with her.
Shut up! And once we're done here, I'm gonna make sure to take care of the others since your plans won't happen.
Pippa sees more images of herself standing proudly at the top of the mountain of bodies, looking down on them with an unassuming expression.
Is this how you guys view new outfit debuts?
Pippa aims her guns not at 𝐏𝐴, but behind herself.
But don't worry. At least the name of Pippa will go down not as a villain.
One last image, a single nondescript tombstone draped with a very familiar worn-out hoodie. Pippa charges at 𝐏𝐴 while simultaneously firing her guns to increase her speed even more. 𝐏𝐴 tries to fire, but it's too late. Pippa manages to get close enough to ram 𝐏𝐴 and knock her down.
If you're gonna keep dodging, I just have to make sure we're both in range. Eat cannon fire, bitch!
She unloads, critically damaging 𝐏𝐴 and her armaments. As the smoke and explosions subside, there's a change between the two girls. Pippa's hair has grown in length, while 𝐏𝐴's hair is now short and battered. Her ears droop down, signaling her defeat. She tries to move, but is too weak to do so, and flops back into the water to float.
I'm sorry. I failed you all.
Pippa wonders if her friends really did confuse this imposter with her earnestly. Was she that easy to imitate? How had she suddenly appeared to stop all their plans? The thought weighed heavily on her mind, but she adopted a mischievous grin on her face to hide her weakness. Once again, she aimed the cannon straight at Pippa.
Tough luck, girlie. But you can't beat the original. Don't worry, though. I'll make this quick and painful.
Pippa closes her eyes and embraces her destiny.
Pippa-tan! 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 Wake up!
A short white fox girl was shouting and shaking Pippa violently to awaken.
Shut up, midget!
This is real. This is why I say to
Yells back,
𝐏𝐴 every day.
glaring hard at her friend Tenma Miami.
Ugh, that dream again. Though.
Pippa shakes her head. Tenma sighs.
You still have that nonsense in your dumb head of yours. It's been months, Pippa, since you said that happened. Let it go already!
She knows Tenma is right, but she still can't shake that feeling. It haunts her so much, and she worries if it happened once, if it could happen again with her or with the others. But for now, she's content to answering Tenma.
Yeah, months. Anyway, why are you yelling at me so much?
'Cause she's mean!
Pippa slaps her face with her hands to try to wake up fully.
I just thought you wanted to know when the girls found those last 13 rebels.
13 orphans?
If you need to be like that, we'll just go without you.
Tenma says, annoyed, while unsheathing her katana and turning towards the door. Pippa trips over herself in a rush to get to Tenma while activating her cube to summon her cannons.
Mi-chan, come on. You know I'm just joking. Now let's go. We're gonna make those 13 orphans become no yaku. Ah, it's a John joke. Get it?
Pippa, you are so fucking lucky that we're friends, or I would gut you with this sword right now.
That's true, that's a real quote.
God, that's the worst. Why are you like this? I'm gonna...
That's a real
Tenma
quote.
continues
All
to
that.
rant at Pippa while they make their way to finish off the last remains of humanity left on Earth.
What?
The end. This has been Tales of the Pip. Writers include Deslaris, Scream the Soul, Tamamo Respecter, Tangentarines, Twismeyer, Kawi, and Berserked Rage.
What was that last part?
Artists include Senna Bonbon, Snowkin, Skygears, Coffee, Mark Green, Aristides, and A-Dog. Voice actors include Ugly Bagstard as Gregory Sampson, father, and H2O Sakana, Kirsha as herself, Sleepy as herself, Sour Grape VA or Sawasama as Pippa, Tenma, Little Sister, and Passerby. Project was conceived, organized, edited, and narrated by Son of Sonnet. Thank you.
Very nice! Very nice! Okay, no, you stop that. You stop that. Oh! That was really cool. That was really cool. That was long.
long too. That was a big project. An hour and 8 minutes. Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, really well done. Really well done. It was a nice touch getting multiple people to do like the voice acting. 𝐂𝐴 did a great job, as she always does with voice acting. It was really cool that you managed to get 𝐿𝐴𝐚𝐬 and Sleepy. And just in general, everyone who participated in this, really well done, really well done. The illustrations made it even more fun, kept it visually interesting. Narration was on point. Got a super nice reading voice. It's really good. It was really good. I'm gonna once the stream ends, I'll post the link to this as the pinned comment, and I'll also put it in the description in case you guys want to go check out the original video. Maybe drop a like, maybe subscribe to the channel. Show Son of Sonnet some support and appreciation for putting together such an awesome project. The stories were actually interesting. Which one was your guys' favorite? Which one did you guys like most? I think for me, I don't know. I feel like the mold one ended up the most memorable. I think the mold one ended up the most memorable. Just because I really like the idea. I mean, I liked all of them. But the idea of like literal mold creation going door to door, just grabbing all the buckets of candy. I personally feel vindicated by that, you know, because one of these fuckers, you know, complained about my trash cans being visible from the street, and I don't know which one it was. I don't know which one of these sons of bitches neighbors it was, but fuck them. Fuck them. Had to be somebody nearby, right? So. The last one was fun with the BGM. HOA, hey! Trivia National thing, Lars. All hail Leah! I'm Leah! Yippee! It's more like, yippee! Wanna be HOA agent? That's what I'm saying, stupid motherfucker. This year, I think about Lars' son. It's always done such a great job at organizing these things. Thanks for showing it off to everyone. Thank you guys for making it and participating in it. 𝐂𝐴 were the $5. Great job, everyone. 𝐏𝐡𝐚𝐭 love. 𝐏𝐡𝐚𝐭 love. 𝐂𝐴 love. Everyone, you should go check out 𝐂𝐴 as well. Drop subscribe for her as well. Tenchi saw nothing. Lord, at this rate, Resident Evil 9 is gonna start with beep 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 beep. Berserk Raging with 333. Glad you enjoyed the project. Worked real hard on it for you and the community to enjoy. It was done with a lot of love and appreciation for everyone. I can tell. Person who sold his wife thing with 320. I thought this is a horror story. I think the horror part of the last one was because it's end of the world. And I think it's �Pipkin Pippa does take over. Gaming history thing with Dolores. I'm big idol. Shut up. I don't know what else to do thing with Dolores. You may know everything I'm going to do, but that's not going to help you since I know everything you're wait, hold on. Since I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it? Not Mr. G thing, Dolores. Oh yeah, what amazing combat music. Napalm, thank you for the $5. I heard Tenmo was more Vietnamese in the story. I imagine her saying, "Go home, GI." Jesus Christ. Magosis, thank you for the 362. One thing at a time. Pips, proud of how much progress you're making. Thank you. I scrolled. The one guy, thank you for the $5. You people, that's my Yoshi. Listen, that's not how I meant it, but we will Kidable, thank you for the $10. Akiba, thank you for the $2. What do you mean, you people? Shut up. P7, thank you for the $2. Is it true? Wait, I think, yeah, I read that one. Okay, Tangent Trade, thank you for the $2. Thanks for watching our stories. Glad you like them. Yeah. Where'd it go? Baxter, thank you for the $2. Pip or love. Hey, watch it with the hard R, buddy. James Cass, thank you for $5. Kafibi love, excellent project, everyone. Shout out to 𝐂𝐴, Kirsten, Sleepy, and Baxter too, I guess, for good VA. Shout out to those people. Minovsky, thank you for $5. The statement about the duality of our spirit and physical states was very enlightening. Yippee! Go home, GI, on Veterans Day. Your bedtime on that one, buddy. Jesus Christ. Alright. Well, Well, I think that about wraps this up. Thank you everyone again. I think I'm gonna go hop on over to Twitch. And yeah. Prunjuice Guiding on VV. I have high functioning Pipkin. I can say Pippa anytime I want. Oh, my super chat. Where are my super chat list? Yeah. Send me that. Karaoke? I don't know. I'll make a poll. You guys can vote what you want to do. You guys can vote for what you would like. But I don't mind putting that on there. Let's watch Megamind. Why Megamind specifically? Alright. I'll start thinking with the 14 Zors, Pippa Love. I'll start thinking with the Gift PP. I'll start thinking with the 7 Zors. I'll start thinking with the 14 Zors. I'm sorry, I missed all these. Thank you. Holly and Jungle, I'll think with the $5. Sawa trying to imitate Tenma sounds like a drunk female Borat. Eric Timonezing for Thor's wife. She sounds like a Khan's wife from King of the Hill. Jesse Jinx saying with the $2. Mexican Tenma isn't real. She can't hurt you. Goody Bar, thank you for $5. I'm such an idiot. I keep trying to hover my mouth over your... Oh, my mouth. Mouse! Over your YouTube Recs to see what they were. Nintendo Game Music, Chill Autumn Music, Amnesia Revisited, Megamind. Oh, that's why you guys were saying Megamind. VJ Loop, Neon Music Heals the Heart and Blood Vessels, White Screen and Silence for 3 hours. Flying Heart, Pink Heart Background, Beautiful Relaxing Music, The Witch Doctor by Ray Bradbury. Ethan Bradbury. Five Nights at Freddy's Ultimate Custom Night Part 2, Markiplier. Why is Markiplier in my recommendeds? Relax Your Mind. I don't know what I did to get Markiplier in my stuff. Yeah. Witch Doctor. I told the Witch Doctor. I see LBD. Think I'm movie. The Kirsten and Leah stories are my favorites. Not that I am biased. Yeah, okay, buddy. Napalm, thing 5 PPs. Ryan Food, thing $2. Pippa take the victory shower. Now! The real Pipkin Pippa, thing $1. I am the real Pipkin Pippa. With a real Pipkin Pippa. Please stand up. You joking? Markiplier's everywhere. He doesn't usually pop up in my recommended. Halloween and horror stuff. Oh, that makes sense. He's kind of like the de facto horror YouTuber. Alright. I'm popping over to Twitch. Thank you guys again so much. You mentioned Leah. That's why Markiplier. Is Leah a Markiplier fan? I know she hates MatPat. Was that the bite of 87? Back to Twitch. Alright, who should I raid? Oh, Leah hates Markiplier? Or hates MatPat. I know she hates MatPat. I don't know if I should raid anybody if I'm just hopping over to the Twitch. I think I might just end. Yeah, I don't need to raid because I'm just going over to Twitch. So I'll raid one of my own waiting rooms. How about that? Alright. What's up, friends? See you guys over on Twitch or tomorrow. Or if you're watching this as a VOD, then I'll see you when you click on the next video. What's up,